Chapter 2. Yeah. One Mind 2.0. Escalating the Wellness Revolution. Chris Manzoni, bookstore. Went to Margot's Books today and Shelley told me you don't work there anymore. Made me sad. You were the best part of going to that store for me. I always appreciated your presence there. Best of luck in your new endeavors, wherever they may take you. Thank you. Mary Aubrey, this made me think of you. Are you still mad at me? Nevertheless, I hope you are doing well. Mom. Ooh, Mom. For the people who want to read it, I will just like scroll slowly. There we go. No wonder Nora didn't want to come here. I'm not sure I could take something like this seriously myself. Maybe that's why Soren is successful and I'm not. Am I late? Looks like the talk is already happening. Oh, this place is packed. I'll just stand at the back.
So, to get back to my original point, the current state of the art is AI-driven counseling, typified by apps like Eliza. Let's talk about the model here for a second.
It looks a little haggard. I wonder if she's okay.
It all begins with data. You collect all the data you can. From base level metrics like heart rates, body temperature, blood pressure, to higher order metrics like hand movement, head movement, gaze aversion. If the client lets you, you'll want to pull from their digital life too, their message histories and email, their search histories, and online behavior. It's all potentially valuable. Then you compare the client's responses to relevant data from thousands of other clients and build a model of the client's psychological state. This approach has worked well so far. Eliza is still the best and most advanced version, but that's just my personal opinion. For those of you who don't know, I was the team lead and chief psychologist for the Eliza project at Skanda for a number of years.
Taking credit for all of it, I see.
Now, even though this is a proven approach, there are two weaknesses I'm going to highlight. One is the data I was just talking about. You're completely dependent on that. Collect as much as you can, sure, but it's important to keep in mind that you can have all the data in the world and still not understand why things work the way they do. And that's important for us to know, because if we have something that works, but we're not sure why, then what do we actually understand about ourselves? The crucial step after data is the model. The data needs to be used to validate a model. If you can't make a model, you're finished. If that sounds like basic, obvious science to you, it is. But I was surprised to find out just how many people from the tech sector don't think this way. I suppose you don't need to understand why something works in order to make it into a product and sell it. Obviously, though, if you had mastery of the underlying details, you'd be able to adjust the process and potentially make it work even better.
The audience is getting impatient. Clearly they're expecting something big.
One further note while I'm discussing modeling. Many of the startups trying to address mental health right now are completely ignoring the insights provided by the field of traditional psychology. They do so at their own peril. Many of you know already, but as a brief personal aside, I was a professor of psychology before I joined the tech world. I'm continually stunned at how little the tech heads know or even care about the hundreds of years of psychological research that has gone on in my field. That's something I can talk about at length, perhaps another time. For now, I'll move on to the other weakness I mentioned. This is the real one, the big one. It's treatment. A system like Eliza can tell what's wrong with a client to a certain level of accuracy, but it doesn't quite know how to turn that into a comprehensive treatment plan. It can suggest therapeutic programs and activities, and soon it might even issue its own prescriptions without having to go through a doctor or a psychiatrist. Well, as long as the FDA continues to look upon us favorably. But those are blunt instruments compared to what I'm going to talk about next.
Maybe this is it. Is he going to go where I think he is?
Many of you know there's a technology still in its infancy called direct stimulation. For those of you who haven't heard of it, direct stimulation is a way of creating sensations within the brain with targeted electrical impulses. Imagine an augmented reality headset, but instead of working on your eyes, it stimulates the brain in such a way as to induce a specific dream. A spring meadow, for example. This sounds fantastical, I know, but progress on this technique has been occurring faster than you think. We're actually quite close to a workable demonstration model. How is that possible? Well, first of all, we only suggest an overall feeling. Your own brain does most of the work, just as it does in your dreams. It fills in all of the visual details using its own set of memories and expectations.
Ah, so this is what everyone came to hear.
Induced dreams via direct stimulation can contain all the therapeutic content of VR therapy without the need to create realistic graphics or other content. Instead, it harnesses the brain's creative power to dream up the situation for itself. Combine that with the insights we gain from parametric therapy systems like Eliza, and you have a complete end-to-end, fully automated system. It should be clear now that this heralds a revolution in how we treat, how we think about mental health. And with mental health challenges on the rise across the globe, it couldn't come at a more crucial time. So, that's why today, right here, I'm announcing Aponia, a new company to make induced dreaming a reality and end human suffering as we know it. I should note that I remain on good terms with Skanda. In fact, they're a minority investor in this new venture. But still, I'm very much going my own way on this. It's no secret that Rainer and I don't always agree, and that's why we mutually decided I should pursue this paradigm shift on my own. As for details on the venture itself, I don't have anything specific to announce at this time other than that the technology is real and working in prototype form already. But you can be sure to hear more from me on that soon. Thank you.
As Soren finishes up, people hold their phones to take photos and a video. This feels more like a press conference than a talk.
Now, I can take a very limited number of audience questions.
The crowd starts to surge toward him. He is going to be mobbed. My plan to find him after the talk isn't going to work. I need to get out of here. I didn't know what I was thinking coming to this. Whatever my element is, this is not it. I should just get out of here before anybody recognizes me. Except, as I attempt to do that, I happen to spot another man I know. He emerges from an elevator in the lobby just as I walk by. I keep my head down. Maybe he won't see me. Surely he is busy and distracted, right?
Well, look who's here. It's like I've seen a ghost.
Soren Reiner Tsai, Chairman and CEO, Skanda Corporation.
Good to see you too, Rainer.
Where are you these days? I lost track after you left us.
Nowhere.
Nowhere? Well, nowhere is no place to be. Come by the new office sometime. You should see where we're taking Eliza.
Okay.
Good. Sarah will set something up for next week.
He glances at the person standing behind and to the side of him, presumably Sarah. She nods almost imperceptibly.
See you then.
I agree before I could think about it. What's this all about? What does Rainer want to do with me? We didn't interact much at all when I worked there. I didn't think he would even remember me. I've hardly done anything and things feel like a tangled mess already. Soren's talk is being rebroadcast here. Seems like he really made waves. I'm sure that was his intent. So good for him. A lot of tech companies have become interested in mental health lately. It's a fast-growing field now. Or maybe it's just a gold rush. Conferences like this always make me nervous. I feel like everyone is looking at me, even though I know they're probably not. I need to get out of here. Andrea's shop. Reminder, contractor parking. For all Seattle's area contingent staff, due to limited space, contractors are not issued scanner parking passes. Do not attempt to park in scanner lots of further past. You will be towed. For people who want to read this, Ed Park, session structure, one more try. I've continued to receive questions about how proxy should interpret and work with Eliza's counseling phases. Here's one more attempt at explaining it. There you go. Continue. Time to head back to work.